Hello friends, and welcome to the third installment of my Easy Beginner Guitar Lesson Series. If you've been following along, then by now you should know how to play a few different exercises, such as alternate picking on the open strings, as well as a left-hand chromatic walk up and down on each string. In addition, we should remember how to form the E minor chord and the G chord using just two fingers. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then don't worry. You can check out what was covered in my first two lessons here or here. In today's lesson, we'll be learning how to play a chromatic scale exercise that uses all 6 strings, and we'll also add our third finger to the G chord so we can start practicing some strumming patterns with these two chords. So with that, let's get started. All right, here we are once again zoomed in nice and close on the guitar so you can see what's going on. If you recall the open string exercises from the last video where we were practicing alternate picking with 4 notes on each string, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then 3 notes on each string, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and 2 notes per string, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Finally, with 1 note per string, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Don't forget to go both directions. If you recall those exercises, then I'd like to encourage you to keep practicing these with a little bit of an extra challenge. So we're going to see if you can do this exercise without looking at your picking hand. This will help you develop muscle memory in your picking hand so you never have to guess what string you're on. Once you can do this consistently in time with a metronome and without needing to look at your hand, then you've essentially mastered this exercise. But that doesn't mean you should stop practicing this. Keep this exercise as a warm-up that you try to do every time you pick up your guitar. And now for something a little bit new. If you recall the 1-string chromatic exercise where we walked up from the open string all the way up to the 4th fret and back down to the open string, then you're in good shape. We should be able to do this before we proceed on to this next exercise. We're going to take that idea and combine all 6 strings into a single exercise that we'll call a chromatic scale. So what it looks like is this. We're going to start on the open 6th string and walk up to the 4th fret like this. Instead of going back down, we're going to then do the same thing on the 5th string. So starting open, working your way up and finishing on the 4th fret. We'll do the same thing on the remaining strings until we get to the 4th fret on the 1st string. So take it as slow as you need to till you get here, the 4th fret of the 1st string. So this is the ascending portion of the scale. So for the descending part, all we've got to do is the same thing but in reverse. So we're going to start where we left off on the 4th fret of the 1st string, and then go back down 1 note at a time till we get to the open string. Then we head to the 2nd string, starting on 4th fret once again. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then the same thing on the remaining strings. Again, go as slow as you need to until you arrive right back where we started on the open 6th string. That's what's called the chromatic scale. For the last part of this lesson, we're going to work on the same 2 chords from last time, but add a little bit more to it. So we should know how to form the E minor chord using our first 2 fingers on the 2nd fret of the 5th string and 4th string, like that. Remember to use good technique, playing with just the tips of our fingers and maintaining a nice curve in the fingers, so as to avoid accidentally muting any of the strings. From there, we simply lift our middle finger and move it over to the 3rd fret of the 6th string. That note should sound like that. This is what we were calling the easy 2-finger G chord. Notice I'm not playing the 1st string. So we should have some practice going back and forth between these 2 chords, strumming each one twice like this. E minor, G, E minor, G. Now if that's starting to feel pretty easy for you, we're going to add one more finger to our G chord. This one goes on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So I want you to try this with your ring finger first. If for some reason that one doesn't seem to cooperate, then you may want to try your pinky finger. Keep in mind we need to be able to do this while holding the 3rd fret of the 6th string with the middle finger and the 2nd fret of the 5th string with your index finger. So it may take some practice to get used to reaching one of your fingers all the way down to the 1st string, but try both of them and see which one works best for you. I'm going to use my ring finger on this one. So this is a G chord. Either way works as long as you can hear the note. So now you can try the same exercise with the addition of the extra finger in the G chord. So again, E minor, now the 3-finger G chord. 2 down strums each time. Alright, but we're not done yet. I want to add one more thing to our right hand strumming pattern, and that's the addition of an up strum following our 2 down strums. So it will sound like this. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1. Notice that as I do the up strum, my left hand is already getting ready for the next chord. So think of this as a simultaneous move for the left and the right hands. As my strumming hand is going up, I'm also lifting the fingers on my fretting hand to get ready for the next chord. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1. So just keep in mind that your index finger can stay put as you're changing between these 2 chords, because that's a pivot finger and it doesn't need to move. So here it is one more time. E minor, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. If you have a guess as to what song we're working on here, then put your guess in the comments below. And that's it for today's lesson. As always, if you found this video useful, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and leave a comment below if you have any questions or recommendations for future videos. All of those things help out my channel greatly, and it is much appreciated. See you next time.